Hello everyone, my name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. Hey everyone, so at the very beginning, if you watched part one of 2 nights of Metallica there in Detroit, Michigan, okay, so part one was all the story of the behind the scenes, not much of the concert. Now I'm going to get into the actual concert itself. Now if you watch part one, you should watch part one because you'll understand a little bit here going into part two. So we're going to get into the set list. Now I missed out, and I'm really bummed out on this because of all the problems we had trying to get over and then trying to find parking, and we were just running. If we had been running just a little bit faster, and if we hadn't got stuck for 40 minutes in the tunnel, I would have most likely gotten to catch Mammoth live. That is Wolfgang Van Halen, Mammoth WVH. I really wanted to see him live. And he opened up before Pantera, and we didn't get there till Pantera was on the stage because of how everything went. So I'm really bummed out on that. With that, I'm looking at the set list. I have it on the computer right now. I pulled it up online. I'm actually reading this off of Riff, W-R-I-F. Detroit 101 W-I-F, yeah. Okay, so anyways, I'm old school, man. I go back to the old days with Riff. Okay, another celebration at the end of the world. You're to blame. I'm all right. Like pastime, take a bow, don't back down. Now, I heard from one of the students where I work, told me he was there as well, and Valerie Bertinelli was actually there in the pit in the middle of the ring to watch your son playing, because this was the first night of 2 nights, but it was the last 2 nights of the North American part of the tour, and I don't know what's going on afterwards. I know we're coming up on the time of year where the guys don't necessarily want to be out on the road, so we'll see how that goes. All right, now I had mentioned in video 1 that I figured I had missed a couple songs from Pantera. We definitely got there on the 4th song. I remember Becoming playing, but they started off with a new level. Mouth of War, Strength Beyond Strength. I'm not overly upset at missing those 3. I got there in time to catch part of Becoming, not a lot of it. I'm Broken. I didn't get to watch them play I'm Broken, but I got to hear it. At this point, Sean and I were out buying merch. So I'm okay with that. We were still buying merch when they played a little bit of Cemetery Gates. We were still buying merch when they got to 5 Minutes Alone. But my ass was in my seat completely. I think it was during 5 Minutes Alone and we finally sat down. But I was in my seat when This Love came on. Man, right off the bat, I'm there sitting down for 5 seconds and my head's already banging. And yes, folks, I sat down. I had worked all day. I was freaking dying at this point already because I work on my feet all day long. I don't sit down a whole lot at work. Oddly, only when I'm on a cash register, and that's just for ergonomic purposes. So my feet were really tired. They were really dogging tired. So yes, I sat down, but let me tell you, man, I banged my head hard. And This Love, I was so happy to catch This Love. Now, Cemetery Gates, doesn't say here, but I believe it's not actually them playing it. I think it's a small tape where they play it as a tribute to the Dimebag and Vinnie Paul. But I didn't see it, so I don't know for sure. Please, if I am incorrect about that, comments. All right, then we get, they go into Fucking Hostile, which, cool, if you're into the song. I'm not a fan of that song. But then you get Walk. my head was just boom, 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 boom. Like seriously. Okay, I'm going on 45, man. I don't remember. I know. I remember. I actually do remember the last time I banged my head this hard, and it was at Rammstein. Uh, so, the older I get, I can still bang. I don't bang as much, and I sit down when I bang now because, man, I lose my balance now too, man. When I head bang, if I'm not holding on to something, when we went to go see, me and Tracy went and saw Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson together, my hand had to hold the rail while I was head banging, otherwise I would lose my balance. Damn, I'm getting old. Okay. But I still bang my head, mother. Okay. Then we got Damnation Hollow, which I knew was going to be played. I'm not a fan. I'm just not. And then we finish up with Cowboys from Hell. Okay, so overall, I talked about the band a little bit when I did part one. So if you want more details on that, go watch part one again. Overall, most of the songs, Zach does a fantastic job of replicating Dimebag Darrell. And obviously, Zach is going to still sound a bit like Zach, okay? But what he's playing, he does a pretty damn good job of replicating Dimebag, right? And the drumming is pretty spot on to Vinnie Paul. But there are certain songs where there are certain nuances where it just is not the same, and that is okay. That is okay. I am happy, very cool, and content overall with what I got to see from Pantera live. As someone who, I might own everything from Pantera, but I would not call myself a Pantera fan. I'm a greatest hits Pantera fan, okay, at best. I'm a commercial Pantera fan, okay, like, I'll admit that. And it's just because sometimes I'm not that fucking hostile. Alright, so here we go. Night one, Metallica. Okay, I only have clips for certain songs. I taught this was a big part of the story in video one, so go watch video one. Now, because of that, I'm just going to kind of get into this as I go here. So first off, they technically open up by playing a tape of It's a Long Way to the Top If You're Gonna Rock and Roll. And they're filling up the arena with smoke and stuff like that, and it's really cool. I started having allergy issues though. Oh my god, I wish I had popped an allergy pill before I went. And I don't know, I don't think it was from the smoke. I use fog all the time, so I don't think it was from that. I think it was from the bad weed. And remember, folks, I'm Canadian. I have mentioned this in multiple videos. So some people were smoking some really crap stuff, and it was making me sneeze. It's a real problem. I had problems blowing my nose throughout the entire night. That was an issue. I fixed that in night two. So we get Creeping Death to start with. Now I've seen Metallica use Creeping Death. Oh, sorry. After a Long Way to the Top, we then get Ecstasy of Gold, and they play it. And this time they've got the big monitor things going on, and they're playing the video from the actual movie, from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The one small problem I have is they stop it before it gets into my favorite part of the movie, where they get in the real cinematics of it and the great true spinning and whatnot. It's some of the greatest cinematography ever, especially for its time. Oh, damn, that was good shit. But it was great to get to see that live, them play that part, and then I was like, boom, you're in a Creeping Death. And that was great. Okay, I've seen Creeping Death live before, so that's awesome. fantastic. And it really sets the mood, gets everything going. It is a great way to open up their shows. Then they go right into Harvester of Sorrow. And that was kind of cool. That was kind of cool, man. I did not honestly believe I would get to see Harvester of Sorrow live. So to get to see that live was pretty badass. And then we go into Through the Never, which is awesome. One of the few songs off the Black album I truly love. If you're one of my regular viewers with the album reviews and that, and you watch my review for the Black album, you'll know that when it comes to the Black album, I'm very much the back half of the Black album. The only exception is switch Unforgiven and Nothing Else Matters. If Unforgiven was on the back half of the album and Nothing Else Matters was on the front half of the album, I would basically listen to almost exclusively the back half of the album. But Through the Never is one of those songs just to hear, because I didn't realize they ever play that anymore. Just like, whoa, yeah! And then I got treated to a song that there is no way in hell I thought they were going to play, and when they ripped it out, I was like, oh my God, Leper Messiah. My head was just bouncing, man. Holy shit. I think I must have been shaking the row. Sean next to me is bouncing as well. He grew out his hair just for 10 months, he grew his hair out for 10 months for this concert. So he had long hair so he could bang. And the two of us, we were just banging like crazy, man. And then we go straight from Leper Messiah, which we're just talking heavy banging, to Lux Eterna. And man, that song is fucking blistering live. I really enjoyed that one, man. And they go straight from that into Too Far Gone. And Too Far Gone is one of those songs that on the album, I was kind of so-so about it. I thought the live delivery of it, though, was pretty cool. I actually enjoyed it, I think, live more than I enjoyed it on the album. And it's not just the atmosphere I was in and whatnot, because they actually played, over the course of the 2 nights, they actually play a lot, and I mean a lot, of songs off of 72 Seasons. And there are other songs I would have liked to have heard instead of Too Far Gone. I'm going to get into this afterwards. Not in this video. I'm going to get into night 2 because I don't want to ruin anything from night 2 yet. I mean, you could have already looked up the set list online, but that's not the point. Okay, moving on. All right. Okay, then we're into Fade to Black. If you watch my thing from night 1, you'll remember me saying or not night 1. If you watch my video 1, you'll have heard me say there were 3 songs I'm really glad they did on night 1 and got them the fuck out of the way so I didn't have to hear them on night 2. And the first one is Fade to Black. Now, I have nothing against Fade to Black. Fade to Black is just really, I really love the live delivery on this song. I really love the live delivery. And Fade to Black is just, the reason I'm not a fan of the song, it is just too fucking damn depressing for me, man. I really am a person who gets emotionally involved in my music, all right? I'm very heavily emotionally involved with my music. I really empathize into my music sometimes. Not the serial killer stuff from Alice Cooper and that, let's be very clear, okay? That's just fun and for jokes. Okay, but Fade to Black is ever since, like, Ride the Lightning was one of my favorite albums, until the catalog started expanding. It still is. Anyways, Fade to Black was the one song off that album I tended to skip the most often because it's a very depressing song. And what was really cool in the live delivery was James stopping right before they go in the heavy part. They have a habit of stopping there a little bit, but this time James stops and actually gives a very moving and impassioned, I don't want to say speech, but delivery discussing self-termination and whatnot, and how one should reach out and, like they put stuff up online for like texting and stuff like that, like dial codes and crap like that. And if they had done that 20 years ago, 30 years ago, well, when I even had seen them on Load, the response to that would have been so much more different than it is now. But I really wish they would have done that back then, because I think it might have saved a lot of people. I think it might have done a lot of good for a lot of people having that out there and putting that out on the screens and that like they did. And it's a shame that it wasn't done back then. But to see them do it now is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So, thank you very much to James Hetfield for that. That was, and the whole band as a whole, because obviously that's a group decision. But, and then they just go into the heavy part and they finish out the song. And then we get into Shadows Follow. And this one wasn't bad. I really didn't mind it. I think they could have pulled this one out and switched. There's other songs I would have rather have heard other than Shadows Follow. But once again, the live delivery on this one was really, really good. Really, really good. And I'm very happy that I got to hear it live. It's really cool. But what I like is what it went into after that. Now, I hoped with every fiber of my being that I would get to see this song over the course of 2 nights. And I'm glad I got to see it, because I got to hear Orion live. Now, when I say I get emotional when it comes to music, I'm going to be completely 100% honest, man. There were 2 songs. There were probably more than 2 songs, but there were 2 songs distinctly that made me tear up when they played them live. There was one on night 1, one on night 2. You can even hear my voice. I'm getting teared up talking about this. Orion is one of them, man. I got to hear Orion live. Life-altering moment. Life-altering moment. All right. Sadly, that life-altering moment was followed by the one song I fucking hate and never want to hear. But we got it out of the way on night 1, and I got to hear Orion, and I was still on a high from Orion, so I sucked it up, and I went through Nothing Else Matters. I actually got up and went to the bathroom to get Kleenex and blow my nose at this point. It was honestly for allergies, but let's be honest, I teared up a little bit, so it didn't hurt to go get some Kleenex anyways and blow my nose anyways, and it's Nothing Else Matters. So yeah, this, if I was one of those guys that went to the, concerts and drank beer the whole night, and yeah, I had a beer at the concert, nothing against that, but if I was one of those people that drank all night, that would have been I'm going to go get a beer drink anyway, so, I figured, fucking hate that song. And then that's followed up with Sad But True. And I went to the bathroom one more time to go get Kleenex for my paper towel for my nose. And then I come, and Sad But True, I do not like just because of how overplayed it was. I don't think it's that great of a song. I don't know why they think it's their Cashmere. It's not their Cashmere. I got to hear that earlier. That was, to me, their Cashmere was more like Lever Messiah, but whatever. All right, so that's followed up by The Day That Never Comes. Oh man. First time getting to hear this one live. Oh, I got misty-eyed again. I did. Oh my God, that intro live. Oh, just fucking moving. So moving. Oh my God. Then we got Hardwired. That was cool. Other songs I would have rather have heard off a Hardwired to Self-Destruct album. But Hardwired is cool. I'm okay with it. I'm fine with them playing it on night 1. It was great. It was, let's go with it. That is followed up by Fuel. Yes, give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Now, I've seen them do this live before, so getting to see them do it live was cool. This was even better, because last time I saw them do it live was at Pine Knob. And you can only do so much pyro at Pine Knob, but the pyro they do during Fuel was freaking brilliant, man. Oh, it was great, especially on the round ring. Oh, it was brilliant. And then we go into Seek and Destroy. Yes! Oh, and then I mentioned the Videotron, and I know you've seen video footage of it at this point up on the screen here. So those towers, I wish I had video of it. You get the balls coming down from the towers. They just all of a sudden come dropping out. Big giant Metallica 72 Seasons beach balls come dropping out. Awesome, absolutely so cool to watch. They're going around everywhere, man. Like Seek and Destroy is the biggest party song at this point as they're going and playing. It was awesome, so fun. And it would not be a complete night without it. And then we finish off the night with Master of Puppets, and that was pretty badass. That was pretty badass to finish the night with. Really enjoyed it. Uh, it's interesting. They don't, on night one, they didn't do anything like a distinct encore. Because basically, Seek and Destroy, the balls drop down, and that's the closest you get to kind of like a big showcasey, going nuts kind of thing. Or even if you want to look at Seek and Destroy as the beginning encore and Fuel as the finale, because it had all the pyro going on, that's cool too. But it really felt like there was no distinct encore at all. It just felt like they were gunning it through straight to the end. Boom, and that was it. You're over, you're done with. End of it. All right. So that's it. That's me talking about the set list this night. There is going to be a part 4. Because part 3, I actually have video footage for part 3 as well. So we'll see how that goes and how much video footage I put in there, because on this one, my recording time is just over 20 minutes by the time I pump in a couple video clips for you to watch, and I put in, just so you can watch those video clips. It's going to pump it up to definitely closer to 22 minutes, which, we're talking about Metallica and whatnot, so that's cool. The next video is going to be longer, and then I'm going to have to do a 4th one to kind of summarize the whole entire thing. All right, so I will see you in part 3, which you should get tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll see how this goes. All right, everybody. This is the point where you leave a comment, you hit the like button, you hit the subscribe button, you hit the bell for notifications. If you are in the city of Windsor, you will be watching this right before we do our first official premiere of Project Zero Hour Prototype at Barbershop Bar on Howard Avenue in Windsor, Ontario. If you are here, come and check that out. That will be me, Shawnee B, and Drucifer starring in our first ever movie. All right. Peace, love, take care.